Hello whiskey lovers, and welcome to another one of Mark's Whiskey Ramblings. Again, not in my trusted whiskey basement, no, that is quite inaccessible at the moment. I'm actually in a new home, in a temporary new home, while the old one, well, old, while the original one where I live is being fully remodeled, so I had to move for quite a while because it's quite a construction that will be going on. But once it's finished, I will show you my new whiskey cabinet. It will be flabbergasting. But anyway, so even in my new temporary home, of course, I want to talk to you about whiskey. And today, let's do South Africa. I've never done a rambling about South Africa, but I thought the time was right to do it now. And we will be talking about Bain's Cape Mountain Whiskey, a single grain. It's from the James Sedgewick distillery. Now, let's go back to the history of James Sedgewick. He was a captain. He was not a pirate, but a seafaring captain way back in the 18th, 19th century. Now, in 1850, Captain James Sedgewick, he sailed into Table Bay in South Africa. And he liked it so much that he settled there. And he became a well-known businessman with his own liquor and tobacco business. But by 1872, when he passed away, his two sons took over. His sons, Charles and Alfred. Excuse me. They took over, and in 1886, they purchased a nearby distillery that was famous for brandy. Now let's fast forward to the new millennium. In 2003, that was the time when the distillery was equipped with a pot still and a column still. They were both produced by the coppersmiths Fawcett's from Scotland, very well known, of course. So whiskey production has only been up and running at the James Sedgewick's distillery for about just over a decade, 2003. So there you have it. Now they produce both blended and single malt, but also single grain. The single malt and the blended whiskey is being marketed under the name Three Ships, while the single grain is this one, the Bain's Cape Mountain Whiskey. And it is named after the person Andrew Geddes Bain, who was a construction worker in South Africa, and he's famous for building the Bainskloof Pass, which made the region a lot more accessible. But now on to the whiskey, and in this case we will be trying the single grain from Bain's. From James Sedgewick, the Bain's single grain whiskey, which is bottled at 43% ABV, so it's really a very accessible drinking strength. As you can see, it's got this nice golden color, full golden color. And now, as it is a single grain, before I try it, I am expecting this to be somewhat bourbony. You know, I think this will be a lot like a bourbon. Let's find out on the nose. Yes, yes, as was to be expected. I get loads of vanilla, I get some, it's honey sweet, with loads of vanilla, there's some coconut in there. I get some lemon zest, I get some almonds, some toffee. There's a bit of spices there as well, which kind of reminds me of a rye bread. And some warm custard. This is, it's not really bourbony, but it's very close to bourbon, or even a mix of bourbon and rye whiskies. Very sweet, but look, it's also rather delicate, I must say. Nice. On the palate then. It's very creamy. It coats the mouth. It coats your, it wraps your tongue in a creamy layer. It's quite nice. It's a good continuation of the nose. I get the same coconut hints, coconut milk maybe even. I get the same spices. I get vanilla, custard again. But it's, how should I put this? I don't want to look down upon bourbons, because there are quite a few good and even outstanding bourbons. This is almost bourbony, almost rye, but I like this just a bit better. It's more delicate. It has a bit more character. Quite nice. On the finish then. Well, the finish is somewhat short, but it remains spicy and smooth throughout, and I get some lemon zest and some almonds at the death, and it's the spices that clearly linger the longest. Well, all in all, this is quite a quaffable and very smooth single grain from South Africa, and I think this would make for an ideal drink during the summertime in your garden, on your terrace. Put it in a tumbler, throw in 2 cubes of ice. I know. Throw in 2 cubes of ice, or have it neat. You can have it neat as well, of course. It is a very accessible drinking strength. It is very nice, very sweet. This is a typical summer dram, or maybe something to have with dessert. This is my impression of the South African Bain's Cape Mountain Whisky. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again real soon at another one of Mark's Whisky Ramblings. And until then, may the malt be with you. Bye bye.